The bullet didn't come from some raghead insurgent in the Hindu Kush. It came from the .45 my own father pressed to my temple, his finger steady as he whispered, "You're the loose end, Gianna. Always were." I felt the world tilt, my blood, still hot from the desert sun, splattering across the faded American flag pinned to his study wall, the one he'd hung after I shipped out for BUD/S. And just like that, at 32, I was gone. Or so I thought. Because when my eyes snapped open, it wasn't to the pearly gates or some fiery pit. It was to the squeaky twin bed in my childhood room in Spokane, Washington, the calendar on the wall screaming September 15th, 2015, 17 years back, my skin tight and 25 again, heart pounding like I'd just aced Hell Week. I bolted upright, gasping, my hands, calloused but not yet scarred from a decade of deployments, clutching the comforter with the faded Seahawks logo. The mirror across the room showed a ghost. Me, pre-enlistment, hair in a messy ponytail, eyes wide with the fire that would one day get me a silver star and a purple heart. But this wasn't some divine mulligan. This was rebirth, raw and unfiltered, the kind of cosmic fuck you that only happens in bad novels or worse dreams. My father, God, that smug bastard, was downstairs right now, probably nursing his morning coffee, plotting the family empire he'd build on my broken back. The empire that would bury me alive. Not this time. I stumbled to the window, peering through the lace curtains at the manicured lawn of our McMansion in the Heights neighborhood. Spokane sprawled out below, all crisp fall leaves and distant mill smoke, the kind of Pacific Northwest town where everyone knows your business but pretends they don't. Dad's construction firm was already a mid-tier player back then, bidding on city contracts, schmoozing with the mayor at VFW barbecues. He'd always called my decision to join the Navy a phase, a slap in the face to the legacy he wanted me to inherit. "Gianna, sweetheart," he'd say with that patronizing drawl. "Why waste that brain on push-ups when you could be closing deals?" But I knew better now. I knew the deals he was closing weren't with rebar and concrete. They were with cartels south of the border, laundering cash through fake builds on the Idaho line. And when the feds got too close in my original timeline, he pinned it all on me. The unstable vet, returning from tour with a chip on her shoulder and a duffel full of evidence he'd planted. Betrayal doesn't hit like a sucker punch. It seeps in, slow as bad intel. I'd come home from my first deployment in 16, ribs cracked from a hello crash, to find Dad's hugs tighter than usual. "Proud of you, kiddo," he'd murmur, while Mom averted her eyes, her silence louder than any scream. My brother, Tyler, 2 years younger, the golden boy who'd flunked out of community college, got the corner office Dad built just for him. I got pitying pats and whispers about PTSD. By 22, when the IRS audits hit, Dad's ledgers were a mess of ghost jobs and offshore wires. He needed a fall guy? Me. The daughter who'd sworn an oath to country over kin. He fed me half-truths, got me to sign off on dummy invoices for the family's sake. Then, when the heat cranked up, he staged the whole thing. My suicide note typed on my laptop, ranting about corruption, with his prints wiped clean. "The bullet was mercy," he said, as the barrel kissed my skin. "Better this way than prison, Gianna. You're doing us all a favor." I laughed then, a bitter, choking sound that echoed off the empty room. Favor? I'd given everything. Summers at boot camp instead of lake parties, holidays in sandpits instead of turkey dinners, a body rebuilt from shrapnel and therapy. And for what? To be the punchline in Dad's boardroom jokes? My girl's a SEAL. All right, sealed her fate away from real work. The guys in my platoon would have gutted him for less. Jax, my swim buddy from BUD/S, the one who dragged me through the surf when I blacked out on the grinder. Lena, the intel whiz who covered my 6 in Fallujah. They were ghosts now, but in this reset, they were alive, waiting for a call I hadn't made yet. Downstairs, the coffee maker gurgled like a distant mortar round. I dressed quick, jeans, a hoodie over my unscarred arms, and crept to the landing. Dad was at the kitchen island, the spokesman review spread out, headlines about some opioid bust in Seattle. Fitting. He looked up, that salt and pepper beard trimmed just so, eyes crinkling in feigned warmth. "Morning, sleepyhead. Big day. Got that interview at the firm. Show him you're more than just a tomboy with tattoos." He chuckled, sipping his joe. Mom hovered by the stove, flipping pancakes with mechanical precision, her face a mask of quiet resentment. She'd always hated the military for stealing me, but in truth, it was Dad's shadow that choked us all. I forced a smile, the kind that hit a K-bar. Yeah, Dad. Big debt. My voice was steady, but inside, timelines collided. This was the fork. Enlist tomorrow, or cave to his pitch and shadow Tyler in the office. Last life, I'd enlisted, risen through the ranks, become the tip of the spear. This time, I play both sides. Nod along, sign the papers early, get the dirt firsthand. But the hook was set. I'd reel him in slow. The interview was a farce. Dad's office downtown smelled of fresh sawdust and stale ambition, walls lined with blueprints of strip malls that weren't half what they seemed. Tyler slouched in a chair, scrolling his phone, smirking like he owned the place already. Sis, you sure you want to trade camo for spreadsheets? Might cramp your style. His laugh grated, all bro dude entitlement. He was the one who'd tipped Dad off about my suspicions, in the end, the little shit. Blood or not. I shook hands with the HR drone, aced the bullshit questions about team players and deadlines. By noon, I was on board, starting as a junior estimator next week. Dad clapped me on the back at lunch, Applebee's ribs, because nothing says celebration like chain grill mediocrity. See? This is where you belong. No more playing soldier. His eyes gleamed, already calculating how my clean record could launder the next dirty contract. I chewed slow, memorizing the menu like upward coordinates. Phase 1. Infiltrate. That night, alone in my room, I fired up the ancient Dell laptop, dial-up screeching like nails on chalkboard, and dug. Forums first, construction whistleblowers, anonymous posts about ghost crews on the border. Sloppy, but enough to confirm the threads. Then emails, Dad's unlocked desktop when he stepped out for smokes. Invoices to shell companies in Nogales, payments routed through a Vancouver bank. Millions. And buried in a subfolder labeled Family First, a scanned letter from me. Future me. Dated 23, confessing to cooking the books under duress. Forged, but convincing. The noose, tightening. Sleep came in fits. Dreams of the vault door slamming shut underwater, lungs burning as the ocean claimed me. But morning brought clarity. I needed allies. Not family, these vipers. The real ones. I slipped out before dawn, drove the old Civic to the edge of town where the Spokane River murmured under Liberty Lake Bridge. There, in the mist-shrouded boathouse I'd used as a kid for secret smokes, I placed the call. Prepaid burner, voice steady. Jax, it's Gianna. Yeah, from BUD/S16 class. Listen, I need a favor. Off books. His laugh was gravel and relief. Ghost. Holy shit, thought you ghosted us after that psych eval. What's the play? I leaned against the damp wood, river lapping like distant waves. Family business. The kind that ends in body bags if I'm not careful. You in. A pause, then, for you? Hell yeah. Who's the target? I closed my eyes, seeing Dad study, the flag stained red. My own blood. And Jax? Bring the team. Weeks blurred into a tense tango. By day, I was the dutiful daughter, crunching numbers in a cubicle that reeked of toner and regret. Tyler mentored me, his tips laced with condescension. Don't overthink it, Gianna. Just sign where Dad says. I signed, all right, every falsified bid, every padded expense. But at night, I fed it all to a shadow drive, timestamps and PDFs stacking like ammo crates. Mom noticed the late hours, her worry lines deepening over pot roast dinners. You look haunted, honey. If only she knew. She'd enabled it all, turning a blind eye to the late-night calls from investors, with accents thick as cartel dust. Her betrayal stung deeper than Dad's, love twisted into complicity. The first crack came mid-October, a rainy Tuesday. Dad called me into his office, doors shut tight against the hum of excavators outside. Gianna, we've got a problem. Auditors sniffing around the Evergreen project. His face was thunder, but his eyes darted, guilt? No, calculation. The Evergreen was his crown jewel, a warehouse built on the Idaho Panhandle, funded by a wire from a Mexican front. I'd initialed the variance last week, per his trust me nod. I played dumb, heart hammering like a demo charge. What do you need from me? He paced, loosening his tie, the same Windsor knot he'd worn to my enlistment send-off. Just vouch for the overruns. Say you verified the subs. It's routine. Lie upon lie, The web he'd spin to trap me again. I nodded slow. Sure, Dad. For the family. But as I left, phone buzzed. Jax. Intel confirms. Cartel ties solid. Team's greenlit for extract if it goes south. When's the drop? Thanksgiving loomed like a tripwire. Dad's annual bash. Turkey, yams, and schmoozes with city council hacks. Tyler got hammered on Jack, boasting about expanding south, while Mom fussed over centerpieces like they could hide the rot. I excused myself early, claiming cramps, female privilege in a house of testosterone, and met Lena at a dive bar off Division Street. She slid into the booth, ponytail slicked back, eyes sharp as ever. Talk to me, Rizzo. Platoon nickname, for my Rizzo-era grease obsession during Liberty. We huddled over IPAs, my flash drive between us like contraband. She scanned files on her tablet, whistling low. This is felony grade, Gianna. Money laundering, tax evasion. Hell, if that border link holds, RICO territory. Lena was the brains, the one who'd parsed terabytes of chatter to keep us breathing in the sandbox. Now, she'd parse Dad's empire. Options? I asked, tracing condensation on my glass. She leaned in, voice dropping. Feds first, clean, but slow. Your pop's got pull in this town. Or we go kinetic, expose it ourselves, force a handoff to the team. Risky, controversial as fuck. Controversial. The word hung, heavy as my ruck on a forced march. Go legal, and Dad lawyered up, dragging it out till I was the villain again, the ungrateful vet turning on her own. Kinetic meant shadows, break-ins, maybe a midnight raid that blurred lines between justice and vigilantism. SEALs didn't do domestic ops, we were ghosts abroad. Bringing them home. That was crossing into gray, the kind of call that got careers torched and ethics questioned. But ethics? Dad had murdered his daughter for a ledger. Mine were collateral. Kinetic, I said finally, the word tasting like gun oil. But with a twist. I want him to feel it first. Lena's nod was all business. Copy that. Jax's wheels up from Coronado next week. You set the stage. Setting the stage meant decisions that clawed at my gut. First, Tyler. The little brother I'd shielded from bullies, taught to throw a spiral. He was in deep, co-signing payoffs, but salvageable. I tested him over coffee one crisp morning, fog rolling off the river. Hey, Ty, if things got shady at the firm, you'd bail, right? He snorted, scrolling memes. Shady? Like what? Bad coffee. Dad's legit, Gianna. You're just jaded from all that Army bullshit. Navy asshole. But his flinch, subtle, eyes flicking away, told me enough. Complicit, but scared. I could have pulled him out then, whispered warnings, played the big sis. Instead, I let it ride. Controversial choice number 1. Let the brother sink to hook the father. Number 2 hit harder, Mom. Her birthday dinner, candles flickering on a chocolate cake she'd baked from scratch. As we sang off-key, her hand squeezed mine under the table, desperate, like she sensed the fracture. Later, washing dishes side by side, suds bubbling like unspoken sins, I probed. You ever wonder where the money comes from, Mom? All these upgrades, the pool, the cabin. She stiffened, sponge pausing mid-scrub. Your father provides, Gianna. That's his job. But her voice cracked, eyes glassy. She'd known. Hell, she'd balanced the checkbook, seen the deposits that didn't match bids. Pull her in now, and she might flip, testify, save us all the mess. Or she'd warn Dad, unravel everything. I chose silence, drying the last plate with hands that trembled. Betrayal echoed back. Hers to me, mine to her. Blood's thicker than water, they say, but ink on a contract? That's forever. December crept in, snow dusting the pines like fallout. Dad's pressure mounted. More sign-offs, late night, emergencies, where he'd slide folders under my door, bourbon on his breath. You're my rock, kiddo. Don't let me down. Each one a thread in the noose he'd tie twice. I fed it all to Lena, who looped in Jax via encrypted drops. The team assembled in whispers, 6 operators, ghost from my past, Ramirez on breaching, Kowalski on tech, the works. No brass, no ROE. Just payback, American style, raw, relentless, rewriting the rules. The drop was set for Christmas Eve, under cover of a firm holiday party at the Evergreen site. Ironic, a half-built shell lit with twinkling lights, generators humming like idling Humvees. Dad's investors would fly in from Tucson, suitcases heavy with cash. My role, decoy. I'd play the loyal daughter, toast the deals, then ghost to the rally point. From there, the storm. But twists don't wait for cue cards. 2 days prior, Tyler cornered me in the garage, snow boots dripping melt on the concrete. Gianna, what the hell? Dad's freaking. Says feds are circling. You know something? His face was pale, eyes wild. Not the cocky bro, but the scared kid I'd once protected. Heart twisting, I waited. Confess, drag him aboard, dilute the revenge? Or push, see if he'd crack first? Ty, if you're in over your head, say it. We can fix this. He laughed, bitter. Fix? You're the one with the hero complex. Go back to your useless vet life. Leave the real work to us. The words echoed Dad's future mocks, the ones that had hollowed me out before the bullet. Choice 3. Controversial as a cluster bomb. I grabbed his collar, slammed him against the toolbox, rattling wrenches like spent brass. Listen, you little shit. This real work is gonna bury you. Unless you grow a spine. He shoved me off, storming out. Seed planted? Or fuse lit? Only time, and blood, would tell. Christmas Eve dawned gray, skies threatening dump trucks of white. The party thrummed, eggnog spiked with rye, carols tinny over PA speakers. Dad held court by the space heaters, arm around a silver-haired politico, laughing about frontier spirit. Mom circulated trays, her smile brittle as hoarfrost. Tyler sulked by the coolers, nursing a beer, shooting me glares that could have melted steel. I wore the dress she'd picked, red velvet, too tight for tack pants underneath, feeling like a lamb in wolf's clothing. As the Tucson suits arrived, accents rolling like thunder, Dad pulled me aside. Tonight's big, Gianna. Seal the deal, and your partner track. His hand on my shoulder was heavy, paternal poison. I clinked glasses, scripted lines flowing easy, to new horizons. But under the table, my burner vibrated. Team in position. Perimeter secure. Your call. The exchange happened in the site office trailer, fluorescent buzz cutting the cheer. Dad in the lead suit. Rico, cartel enforcer with a Rolex that screamed blood money. Counted stacks while Tyler stood watch. I hovered by the door, fetching coffee. Heart synced to a metronome of rage. Now or never. I slipped out, melting into shadows, boots crunching gravel. Radio crackle. Rizzo, this is Ghost One. Moving in. They came like specters, blacked-out Suburbans rolling silent, doors whispering open. Jack's first, suppressed MP5 slung low, face paint blending with night. Ramirez breached the trailer lock. Pop, no more than a champagne cork. Inside, shouts erupted. Feds. On the ground. But they weren't feds. SEALs, storming domestic soil for a sister's vendetta. Controversial? A goddamn constitutional crisis. Lights swept. Zip ties snapped. Rico's Rolex glinting as Ramirez cuffed him. Dad's face. Oh, the poetry. Drained to ash, mouth gaping like a landed trout. Gianna? What the? I stepped in, floodlight haloing me like judgment. Merry Christmas, Dad. You always said I was useless. Time to prove you wrong. Tyler lunged, stupid, desperate. But Kowalski clotheslined him easy, a giant swatting a fly. Mom burst in then, drawn by the commotion, pie tin clattering from her hands. Gianna, what have you done? Everything. The files uploaded mid-raid, auto-sent to DOJ tip lines, spoken PD, even a CNN stringer-eyed greased violina. Evidence avalanche, ledgers, wires, witness statements from anonymous sources, Jax's contacts in Tucson PD. Dad's empire, crumbling live on every feed. He lunged too, not for me, for the stacks, but Jax pinned him, knee and back. Easy pops. Party's over. Sirens wailed distant, closing fast. Real feds now, the cleanup crew. I knelt by Dad, close as he'd been with the .45. You call me the loose end. But you? You're the cancer. His eyes, wild with betrayal's mirror. Family, Gianna. I did it for us. For you. I whispered. And now? You're done. As they hauled him out, cuffs biting wrists, snowflakes melting on his suit. Tyler sobbed. Mom collapsed against the trailer wall. Twist hit thin, sharp as shrapnel. Tyler's phone, buzzing in the scuffle. I snatched it, text from Dad, dated weeks back. Keep her close. She's asking questions. But one earlier, to an unknown. Gianna's enlisting tomorrow. Cut her out. He'd known my choice before I voiced it. Manipulated the fracture from jump. No salvage. Cops swarmed, Statements taken under Klieg lights. Jax and the team melted away. Ghosts again, my dead eternal. Oh, you brother. I murmured into the radio as they exfilled. Pay it forward, Rizzo. And hey, welcome home. Dawn broke bloody, sky streaked pink over the Palouse. Mom in holding, Tyler processed as accessory. Dad in federal transport bound for Seattle. Me? Interrogated till noon, then released. Whistleblower status shielding the raid's illegality. Controversial calls blurred. Vigilantes on U.S. soil. Family shattered for justice. Headlines screamed. SEALs storm local tycoon's lair. Daughter's revenge? Talk radio frothed. Hero or homewrecker? Pro-military vets hailed me. Family values hacks decried the betrayal. But in the quiet of my Civic, engine rumbling toward the highway, I felt the weight lift. Not victory. Scars don't fade in reboots, but reckoning. I died on once, reborn to claw back my life. Useless veteran? Nah. I'd stormed the gates of hell, kin or not, and walked out breathing. Spokane shrank in the rear view, a town of secrets buried under fresh snow. Next stop, Coronado, Jax's offer ringing true. Plenty of births for a legend like you. Not as daughter, not as pawn. As Gianna, SEAL, survivor, the storm that broke the house. And if echoes of the bullet whispered still, I'd load my own chamber this time, for the ones who'd follow. The drive south was a blur of interstates and bad coffee. I-90 bleeding into I-82 like veins draining life from the Inland Empire. Spokane's ghosts clung. Dad's mugshot splashed on every gas station TV. Mom's hollow stare from the precinct window. But I punched the pedal, chasing the horizon where the Cascades gave way to endless blue. Rebirth wasn't clean. It itched like wool on sunburned skin. Every mile marker a reminder of forks not taken. What if I'd caved that September morning, skipped BUD/S for balance sheets? Would the cancer have spread unchecked, Tyler deeper in the muck, Mom buried sooner under grief's weight? No. Timelines branched, but mine was forged in fire, desert, and domestic. I'd chosen the storm. Coronado hit like a homecoming I didn't deserve. Naval Base Coronado sprawled under San Diego's sun, hangars humming with Black Hawks, the surf crashing eternal off Silver Strand. Jax met me at the gate, bear hug crushing ribs that remembered worse. Rizzo, you look like you wrestled a gator and lost. His grin split the salt and pepper beard, eyes crinkling with the easy camaraderie of survivors. Feels like it, I admitted, slinging my duffel. The team lounged in the O-course bleachers, Ramirez flipping a butterfly knife, Kowalski nursing a Gatorade, Lena tapping code into a laptop. They rose as one, fist bumps and backslaps rippling like platoon chant. No questions about the raid. SEALs didn't debrief domestic sins. Just a nod, we got you. Jax steered me to the BUD/S hooch. Ghosts of my past self haunting the grinder. Log PT scars etched in sand. The bell that had mocked dropouts. Quarters for now, he said, tossing keys. But brass wants a word. Your extracurriculars made waves. Waves. Try tsunami. By New Year's, the story was national feed. Spokane scandal. Ex-SEAL daughter leads covert takedown. Pundits on Fox frothed about weaponized military against family values, while MSNBC hailed whistleblower heroism. Dad's arraignment streamed live, disheveled and orange, denying everything. His lawyers spinning coerced testimony. Tyler flipped, plea deal for immunity, testifying tear-streaked about pressure from above. Mom, released on bond, silent as a sub in the deep, her lawyers citing duress. I'd shattered the cradle, and the shards cut deep. Brass was Admiral Hargrove, silver eagle on his collar, office reeking of pipe tobacco and old grudges. Petty Officer Rizzo, or should I say, Miss Gianna Hale? He steepled fingers over my dossier, the one with my silver star pinned metaphorical. That stunt in Washington? Ballsy. Illegal. But effective. His eyes bored in, weighing. Cartels dismantled. 3 arrests in Tucson. Feds seizing assets. Your tip sealed it. But bringing my boys home? That's a court-martial if anyone blinks. I met his gaze, chin up. Sir, they weren't your boys. They were mine. And family. It's a two-way oath. He chuckled, dry as desert wind. Fair point. But you're on the bubble. Psych eval pending. PTSD flags from your history. He tapped a redacted psych report, The one from my original timeline's unraveling. You sure you're fit? Fit. I was a phoenix in fatigues, but the itch returned. Nights replaying the bullet's bloom, days questioning if vengeance was victory or venom. Cleared for duty, sir. Let me prove it. He nodded, slow. Re-up as instructor, then. Train the next class. And hail? Don't make me regret this. Instructor life was grindstone sharp. Dawn PT with frogmen hopefuls, their eyes hungry like mine once were. I pushed merciless. Ocean swims till lips turned blue, log drills till shoulders screamed. Channeling dad's mocks into motivation. Useless? Prove me wrong. I'd bark, and they'd surge, because pain forges seals, not spreadsheets. Jax partnered evals, Lena ran sims, the team orbiting like a wolf pack. Nights, we'd debrief over tacos at Cannons, salt air thick with stories. Remember Fallujah? Ramirez would start, and we'd laugh through the close calls, toasting the living. But Spokane's echo lingered. Calls from Mom's lawyer, visitation requests, her remorse scripted in legalese. I declined, each know a knife twist. Controversial still, forgive the enabler? Tyler wrote too, jailhouse scrawl begging sister's mercy. I was weak, Gianna. Help me fix it. Weak. The word burned. I let him sink, watched his cuffs click. Justice or jealousy? The line blurred in the surf's roar. February brought frostbite to Cali bones, a cold snap that had us shivering through qualls. That's when the twist uncoiled, subtle, serpentine. A package arrived at base mail, no return, manila envelope fat with docs. I tore it in the hooch, papers spilling like confetti from hell. Dad's originals, not forgeries. Ledgers from '05, pre-me, showing the rot started early. A note, typed anonymous, blood tells all. Look closer. Closer, buried in the stack, a birth cert, mine. But the date? Off by months. And the father listed? Not Richard Hale. Some ghost from Mom's wild youth. A drifter named Marco Ruiz. Cartel blood? I dug frantic, Lena's help pulling obits. Ruiz, gunned in a Tucson drive-by '94. Mom's maiden name tied to a low-level mule op. Hushed when she met Dad. The betrayal layered. She'd married cover, not love, dragging me into the web unwitting. Dad, he'd known, used it as leverage. Keep quiet, or the girl's tainted. My enlistment? Not rebellion, but escape from a lineage of lies. Rage boiled, but so did pity. I'd avenged a phantom wrong, shattered innocence in the crossfire. Mom's silence. Not complicity, terror. Tyler's weakness? Inherited rot. Controversial calculus. Expose it, torch the remnants? Or bury, let healing supplant hate? I drove north that weekend, unannounced, snow chains rattling on I-5. Spokane huddled under gray, the McMansion dark safe porch light. Mom answered, frail and flannel, eyes widening. Gianna? Oh God. Inside, I said, voice steel. We sat at the island, ghosts of pancakes passed. The envelope between us, Ruiz's name a bomb. She crumbled, sobs racking. I wanted better for you. Away from it all. The Navy. It was your out. But Richard, he twisted everything. Why not tell me? The question clawed, raw. Fear and shame. She reached, tentative. Forgive or finish what you started. Choice 4, the gut punch. I could walk, leave her to fade in Dad's shadow. Or bridge, rebuild on ruins. We'll testify together, I said finally. Full truth. No more ghosts. Her nod was water-breaking. Relief, raw. Tyler too. In visits, juvie rehab, eyes clearer. I get it now, sis. The pressure. It broke me. We talked seals, not sins. Futures, not falls. Spring thawed the ice, trials grinding like millstones. Dad's flipped too late. Rico sticks, 20+ staring down. But the twist? His last plea, smuggled via lawyer, proud, kiddo. Even now. Bullshit or breakthrough. I burned it, ashes in the surf. By summer, I was LT Rizzo, badge pinned fresh, leading a class through Hell Week. Waves crashed, candidates broke or bonded. Jack's at my side, Lena charting courses. Mom visited base, awkward barbecues with the team, her laugh tentative, real. Tyler enrolled at community, construction legit. Family. Fractured, but mending. Not perfect American dream. Too scarred for that. But ours, forged in betrayal's fire, tempered by second chances. And the bullet's whisper? Faded to echo, drowned in ocean roar. Useless? Nah. I'd stormed in, claimed my life. SEAL style, no surrender. Graduation day dawned golden. Coronado's quad packed with whites and anchors, families cheering under palm shade. I stood tall in dress blues, whistle gleaming, as the latest Hell Week survivors rang the bell, clangs echoing victory over the grinder. Jax flanked me, proud uncle vibe, while Lena snapped pics for the platoon group chat. Mom was there too, in the crowd, clutching a bouquet of wildflowers she'd picked herself, small rebellion against the florist fuss. Tyler beside her, awkward in khakis, but his clap was genuine, a far cry from the sulky kid I'd zip-tied that Christmas Eve. LT Rizzo. The Admiral boomed, pinning my bars with a grip like vice. From whistleblower to warfighter. The Navy's better for it. Applause rippled, but my mind wandered to the empty chair where Dad should have sat if blood wrote different scripts. His trial wrapped last month. 30 years, no parole, the judge citing calculated betrayal of trust with a side eye at the bench. Cartel links unraveled full. Rico singing like a canary, feds raiding bunkers from Spokane to Sonora. My testimony sealed it. Mom's too. Her voice steady recounting Ruiz's shadow. Tyler got probation, community service on legit builds, irony's gift. Post-ceremony, we grilled burgers on the beach, smoke curling lazy against surf. The team razzied me gentle. From domestic op to desk jockey? Slumming it, Rizzo. Ramirez flipped patties with flair. Kowalski cracked Coronas. Mom hovered, tentative, offering coleslaw like peace treaty. Proud of you, Gianna. More than words. Her eyes held mine, haunted still, but healing. The package's truth had cracked us open, but cauterized too. No more secrets festering. Tyler pulled me aside, toes in sand, waves lapping tentative. Sis, about that night. I thought you were the enemy. His voice cracked, 19 going on ancient. But you saved me. From him. From me. I clapped his shoulder, feeling the boy I'd lost and found. We're even, Ty. Just don't fuck up the rebuild. He laughed, real, first in years. Controversial choices echoed. I'd chosen mercy over massacre, bridge over burn. Was it weakness? Or wisdom? The kind BUD/S doesn't teach, but battle burns in? Dusk fell, bonfire crackling, stories spinning tall. Jax regaled Mom with sanitized BUD/S tales. Your girl's a legend, ma'am. Dragged my ass through the surf once, and she laughed unguarded. Lena cornered me later, stars wheeling overhead. You good, Rizzo? That op-ed was gray. We all are. Gray. The word anchored me. My rebirth wasn't black and white heroism. It was moral murk, vigilantes storming kin, family fracturing under floodlights. Pundits still debated. Was Gianna Hale a patriot or pariah? Op-eds in the New York Times called it the vigilante veteran dilemma, while vet groups rallied fundraisers in my name. Controversial stayed, a badge I wore quiet. But good? Yeah. The bullet's ghost silenced, replaced by purpose's pulse. I died betrayed, reborn to reckon, not just with Dad's sins, but my own, the silence that enabled, the rage that blinded. Twist's gift, forgiveness as fiercest revenge. Fall brought deployments. Me on the boat team, shadowing pirates off Somalia, the team's rhythm my reset heartbeat. Spokane visits sporadic. Mom's garden blooming defiant. Tyler's crew framing houses honest. Dad's letters came, penitentiary scrawl, reflections laced with regret. I read one. Finally, I mocked to mask my fear. Gianna, you were always the strong one. Bullshit or breakthrough. I replied once, strength's choosing better. Do that inside. No more. Closure's a door, not a dungeon. Winter solstice, I stood again at Liberty Lake Bridge, river murmuring secrets. Snow-dusted rails, breath fogging like ghosts exhaled. Jax called then, voice crackling from some black site. Rizzo, new op. Your call. I smiled into the cold. Copy, Ghost 1. Storms brewing. Life's not linear, not even in second chances. Betrayals scar, but they school. Teaching mercy's might, revenge's cost. Dad mocked my military life, called me useless till the SEALs stormed his world. But that storm? It cleared the air, let light pierce the lies. I'm Gianna Hale, daughter, sister, operator. Veteran, not useless, unbreakable. And in America's endless churn, cities pulsing, waves crashing, kin mending, I sail on. Oath unbroken. Storm eternal.